We are the users of AI. You're not building AI, you're just using it. So using it doesn't mean you know AI. Just like when we consume a content, you watch the content. It's not that you created the content. Same way, I think people use AI, ChatGPT, and they think they know AI, which is a big misconception.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your current role, education, and then kind of just about your work in AI?
Yes, sure. So currently, I work for a cybersecurity. It's a small firm. I lead their AI division, the business side of that division. That means applying AI innovation for the sales, marketing, customer support, finance sections of the company. And so the idea is there, how can you be more optimized in the business processes workflow? How can you help to make most of the automation so that humans can spend time where they really need to spend time and not waste a lot of time and energy doing day-to-day tasks or repetitive work. So that's my current role, and I've been in the industry for 22 years. um, Started like back long time back, I guess in 2000, early 2000, and the technology has evolved over time. So before that, I worked for Pearson before this company. So I believe you all use Pearson products a lot in school, and they're the most common used. And you must have taken your assessments that you take every year. So most of those products, I was we embedded a lot of AI features in that specifically for adaptive learning.
What skills or concepts actually power AI? Like, what does it take to build AI?
Right. So if I mean, I can talk from business perspective and technological perspective based on where you guys want to take your career. So from business perspective, it's the workflows. So what workflow you want to build, what problem you're trying to solve, and what would be the fastest way to solve that problem without human intervention. And on technological side, what powers AI is mostly data. It's all data, historical data, your personal data, all kinds of data. That's what powers AI. So that data labeling and understanding the data is the second part. And then the third part is testing, because it is not correct all the time. And you must have heard it hallucinates, it gives you wrong information. That's because it read wrong data or the data was labeled incorrectly. So that's the third part. So you can pick and choose in career wise where which part you would like to go on, like data labeling or business workflow automation or testing, something of that sort.
I'm just going to talk a little bit, like ask questions about how we can help like students understand the opportunity and career direction of AI. So my first question is, what are some roles in AI today?
So you can divide the AI roles into various categories. So one is if you guys are really interested on the business side, like I said, so you can go somewhere like in a business product management, AI product management, where you have an idea and you're very good at ideation and you really understand the workflow, or your father or mother has a business, you know how it works, and now you want to automate it. So understanding that workflow and trying to understand where you can do certain predictions or recommendations, or where you can have more automation. For example, there is a human billing system. Somebody sits and writes the bills, or you want to do a cost estimate of your product. So all those now you can hand it over to AI. So you can help in that side, the business side. Then there is a technological side. In the technological side, you could become like more of a data engineer who creates very solid data sets that can be fed into AI, or you can be an AI engineer where now you interact with this AI through their systems like APIs or through some integration systems and make that work to workflow happen that the business people want. Or you could be an AI testing where you do validation of the AI output and make sure it meets. And there is also new field coming up, which is called a legal field, where you can be literally a legal counsel for AI. So because just like humans, AI make mistakes. AI, you must have heard with Tesla, there is car accidents, or Google, somebody just it gave a bad recommendation and things like that. So there is going to be like a legal counsel, ethical counsel, where AI is applicable, where it's not applicable, what are the boundaries, how is somebody's data being used. There is a big issue of data privacy. So that could be one of your fields. And third field could be when you AI engineering, like I said, there you could be a really good prompt engineer, where you give it a good context, good data, and give it super clear instructions so that you reduce the error factor or false positives.
That's amazing. So which industries are seeing the most growth in AI adoption?
So all industries, I would say. Now, some industries which are like oil and gas or something like super old school industries, which has a lot of physical equipment from old times, those are still backwards because they can't really integrate with their big machines. But anything else like education industry, I said, is in the forefront. Cyber security is in the forefront. Even like interior designing, I'm seeing AI apply that. It's like I'm really interested in that field because I love decorating homes, and it comes up with idea. Any kind of content generation, whether it's you must be watching Netflix, Amazon, all that kind of stuff, cartoons. So content generation is big. Wherever you want to generate content, it's all AI. So those fields are mostly there. And the current AI we are talking about is Gen AI. That is just one little baby in the whole AI world. So Gen AI means you're talking about content, whether it is text, video, audio. So anybody who interacts with content, any industry. When you go to the pharmaceutical industry, you may have a lot of information about your drugs and medicine and stuff like that. You want to search through the information, filter through the information. Wherever there is information, there will be AI. Just like now we have internet, it's just going to be like that.
Thank you. So do you think students need coding skills to work in AI related careers?
So I'm old school. So I do think coding helps a lot, just because I wouldn't say why it helps is because of logic. You have to still apply the similar logic when you create an AI engine. The set of instructions or algorithms, you may not need to code, but at least you should know the algorithm that will help you to solve a specific problem. Like something needs to be done in a loop, or something has an if else, like if this, do this, else do this. So that algorithmic skills or logical skills you need to have. Coding, not so much. It can code for you. But if it introduces a bug in the code and you don't know what it did, then you are going on a worldwide because you will not be able to figure it out. So it's good to know, but it is getting smarter every day. Even I don't code anymore. I use it for do most of the coding. But it makes mistakes. It makes a lot of mistakes.
So what type of roles are emerging because of AI that students should be aware of?
Yeah, like I said, these 4 categories, you can go into like a management side where you know how to use AI to build products or to build a business. Second would be, like I said, AI engineering, where you learn prompt engineering and data and how to integrate it. Third would be like testing. And then legal, like I said, is another field where people are, the legal counsels are working on it to make it all ethical and moral, and then data privacy and all of that. So those 4 fields I can see are emerging.
I'm going to ask you some questions on what students should be focusing on currently right now. So starting off, what do you think are some foundational skills that students should start building today to prepare for AI-driven careers?
Understanding data. Like whenever you interact with AI, even you don't have to go and take a physical course, but whenever you're interacting the data, understanding what kind of responses it gives you, and then logical thinking and critical thinking. So critically thinking, not just believing what it says, questioning it back, and just having that type of interaction with it and trying to understand how it is thinking, why it is thinking the way it is thinking, what was fed into it, is it reliable? Just starting there, and then I think automatically you'll increase your prompt engineering, because now you're starting to think critically, you're starting to give it better prompts. It's a very good starting point. And once you and I'm pretty sure your generation is going to have much more comfort level with it, like we had with internet in our generation. So I'm pretty sure you guys will, but starting there is a good point, and then deciding what you enjoy with it the most. I would say some people might enjoy testing it more, some people might enjoy what data, and thinking of what kind of data it is getting, how that can be. Some people can go in that field. Some people might think this is not ethical, this is not good. They can go, like I said, in the lawyer fields. Or some people might enjoy how it works, exploring how it fits today in different products. So you could go on your business side. So I think it'll evolve, but the first starting point I would say is interacting with it and not believing what it says, and always being critically thinking is a very good starting point, and then decide based on your interests where you want to go. And then also like alignment. For example, how does it know my interests? Like, what did I watch yesterday, so it is showing me today? How can it not show this data to me? Stuff like that. That will help you also start thinking algorithms that it may use in the background.
Building off of that, how important do you think math, data, and analytical skills would be in an AI-driven world?
If you're going on the business side, not so much. But if you're going on the engineering side, and if you're going on building the AI models, now companies like Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, they're actually building the systems. If you're actually building those architectures, or we can call the backend engines that actually work on it. Then you need math, and then you need data to enable that. So that is like super technical field. But if you're just going on an AI, applied AI side, where you just use these models to build a business value, they're not so much. You'll be mostly using prompt engineering, like I told. And again, if you go on legal side, you need to have more critical thinking.
Other than, you said critical thinking skills would be important for legal studies. Are there any other non-math data-based, more soft skills that are important to still, maintain in an AI-driven world?
Yes, so you could go in a product management side, super exciting field, AI product managers. So what these people do is they come up with so you work for business, right? You could work for small business, big businesses, but the idea is you understand the business. You try to understand what problems business have, where are people spending most time, what is the redundant quality of work, where they spend a lot of hours, which you think could be spent better, where you could automate it, and you can come up with your ideas and workflows. There you don't need math, or you don't need to understand much data. You need to understand more of a business workflow. And then if you want to go on the data side, you have to understand, what data really enables this business? And then that could be a whole data engineering skill set that is completely separate from AI, which enables your AI pipeline then to work. And then finally, like I said, of course, all of that needs to be tested. So in testing side also, you need to understand data. But yes, if you're going on the more on this areas, you don't need that much of a technical background for business.
So I know you've briefly touched on it earlier, but are there any specific ways you think high school students can start exploring AI, whether it's a specific coding language or AI tool?
Yeah, you could start with Python if you're interested. And then the AI tool, what I would suggest is, so now there's Grok, there is Claude, there is Anthropic, all this noise. One of the challenges you guys are going to have when you come out of high school is noise versus signal ratio. Extreme amount of noise. So you're going to have a lot of distractions, 100 people taking you in 100 different directions. So what I would suggest is, if you're really interested in coding, start with Python. Start understanding what APIs are. APIs are application programming interfaces, which will literally tell you how to integrate with all these models, no matter whether it's Grok or OpenAI or Anthropic. So those two things, if you start with, you'll be good. And then, like I said, understand what data has been used for, just at a very high level, and then question it. And then you'll start thinking, how is the model responding and how you can use it. But yes, Python is mostly common language, and the second language is Golang.
Just to build on something you mentioned earlier, are there a specific kind or type of projects students can work on to demonstrate interest in AI?
Yes, lots of volunteering projects. So let me give you an example. So last week I volunteered at a place where they help people with Alzheimer's and dementia. And the problem is people wait too long for the diagnosis. So how can we, with AI, figure out somebody is on that path for dementia and early intervention and help them with like a community? So how do you do that? Now you go look when they go for diagnosis first time, right? You should immediately have some sort of a event or a signal that captures that the diagnosis was done, and now you can help them right away. So lots of volunteering activities, even like arranging an event, a friend's birthday party. What can you do with AI? How can it help you to arrange? Booking up your travel tickets, like day-to-day activities, you can help. And then senior citizens also need a lot of help sometimes. If you can volunteer and help them with AI, like I know one senior citizen, she wanted to sell her products online, and she had a lot of trouble like pushing all these products online. So I literally trained her in AI, and it gave her a step-by-step guide of how to go upload her products. So little projects like that will make you market ready.
Are there any formal courses or other self-directed courses you would recommend?
Yes, so there are various categories. Now you can start with something if you want certified courses just to get prepared. And I don't know, I come from education industry, and I was seeing that 4-year degrees are kind of not that much popular anymore. People go mostly for trade schools and stuff because that's more demand. But to be prepared, market prepared, where you can find a job, you can go to like Udemy and take like a micro certifications, and they train you through everything right from day one. And you can have those certifications just as a backup once you're out of high school, ready for college. That'll prepare you even for what you want. But the most reliable is from the scientist who is like literally the father of AI, is Andrew. And his is deeplearning.ai, and that's where everybody goes for all the things. And then he also has like certifications you can take. And that starts at a super basic level. You don't have to be like a super programmer or engineer or anything.
And then what are some mistakes students should avoid when trying to learn AI?
Yeah. First thing, like I said, mostly people are users. So first thing you have to differentiate, am I a AI user or am I an AI builder? Or I'm using it for some sort of creation. So that's the difference I think you have to eliminate and then start thinking whether you want to be a builder or a user. And there's no harm in being users. Some people are excellent AI users and make a lot of money. So, but differentiating that will then help you to go on which path you want to go. And you can use AI or you can start building and contributing towards it, is where I think the differentiation will be.